Welcome back, everybody. It's good to have everybody stop by and see what's going on in the Driftless region here at the Driftless Homestead. Today we're going to see some Driftless drone footage of the Mill Creek Valley. Right now we're enjoying the fall colors. It's October 4th. You can see that the corn is really starting to turn, and you can see all the colors in the hills here. You'll notice some of the colors, like the black walnut trees have a yellow color to the leaves, and they lose their leaves first, and then there's several trees that have different colors that you see throughout the year, and it's really something special if everything kind of goes at the same time or close to each other, because then you get so many more vibrant colors. You'll see that some of the white oaks will have red leaves, or they'll get brown leaves, and then the red oaks will definitely get brown leaves. They actually hold on to their leaves all the way through winter, most of the way. And then some of the other, birch or aspen is where you get yellow leaves as well. Some of the oranges are maple leaves that you see there as we head down the Mill Valley here. We'll do a little scan and let you see all the hills and all the colors, the way they play up on the hills. We're about I would say it's October 4th. We're about a week out from prime. I'm probably going to miss that week because I have a wedding to go to. There's a view down the Mill Creek Valley that kind of establishes, the hills on both sides, and all drain down to that Mill Creek, and that creek ends up heading down to the Wisconsin River, and the Wisconsin River goes to the Mississippi River. So nice clear blue sky with some clouds off there in the distance. Now we'll continue on down the road here, and if you see those three bodies of water out there, we kind of joke around about those being the Boaz Chain of Lakes. In reality, what they are is they're the Boaz sewage ponds. So when the people in Boaz flush their toilet, it ends up in these sewage ponds, or chain of lakes, as I like to call them. So it's kind of funny, I lived out in North Dakota in a fairly large town for having open sewage ponds like this, and my friends, we used to go pheasant hunting every day, and then my friends wanted to go start duck hunting, and I would drive past the sewage pond, and there'd literally be thousands of ducks out on that sewage pond, and I told those guys, I'm not duck hunting, because I'm not going to eat them because of where they eat all day, before we shoot them at the other side of town, so you are what you eat. So those ducks pretty much taste like what they're eating all day. So as we get closer to the Boaz Chain of Lakes here, looks like there's a few ducks or geese on there. It's kind of hard to see here. One of the guys in our hunting group, Jack, he likes to go duck hunting, and I make fun of him all the time that these ducks or geese are in the Boaz Chain of Lakes eating all day, and then you go out and shoot them by the river, and that's what you're going to get. You're going to get things that taste poor like that. This is kind of a nice view that you see here. You'll see in the blue part of the water there's some geese, just swimming around, and then you see them in the duckweed. I think this might be the green stuff, and then as they're trying to swim away from the drone there, it makes some nice trails through the duckweed there. So we won't stay here for too long, because I'm afraid if they get scared and take off that they'll knock my drone out of the sky, and then it's going to end up in the duckweed. So there's some good table fare for you there if you're a duck hunter or goose hunter. So we'll get out of here, and we'll take our ride. Oh, All right, let's leave these geese alone. Check out these hills a little bit. Closer to the river here. Off in the distance there's a farm there for sale. I guess it's not that far away, but yeah, that one's for sale. Nice, pretty much he's got a hill there. It's hard to tell, you know, unless you get real close, which is illegal to fly over somebody else's land, so we're not going to do that without their permission, of course. To see what kind of market timber on there. You know, when you're looking in the Driftless region, we grow a lot of valuable timber, and it's always adds or detracts from the price, whether or not you can get in there and do some logging anytime sooner or later. Also, being that we have so much valuable hardwood out here, a lot of the people out here are in these DNR forestry programs, and these forestry programs, you know, it knocks your taxes way down, especially if, you know, you're using your land for recreational purposes and not farming purposes. Now, obviously, you're not going to farm up the sides of the hills because they get too steep and they're too rocky. So you tend to farm the flatter sides, and then where the hills get close together like this, you know, you're not able to do much there. Maybe find a spot to build a house. But I will tell you, you know, if you're not in the river valley itself, you know, it's hard to find flat ground. You know, it seems like, you know, you take one step out of the car and you're walking straight up the hill there, you know. Over on our hunting property, these hills are quite large. I mean, if you look at from sea level, you know, you're talking 900, 1,000. I think the one hill on our property is 1,100 feet above sea level. But you know, like the Mill Creek Valley is above sea level as well. So I don't know. You'd have to subtract one from the other to get the actual height of the hills, but I will tell you they're extremely steep, and they're you can look at them from afar, like from these drone footage here, and think, oh, well, they're not that big. But you know, you start to climb up one of these hills, and you will be winded by the time you get a third of the way up, and you'll have to stop and take a break because it's so steep. A lot of the hills have, which you can't see now because of the fall colors, but I'll definitely show you some of them. They have rock outcroppings, and we've got some on our property. We've got a stand rock on our property. You know, there's the cliff for the end of the hill there, and then then another rock pillar is coming up, and it's kind of interesting. Frank Lloyd Wright was born in Richland Center, Wisconsin, and then later, as he started his architecture degree, he ended up settling in Spring Green, Wisconsin. Actually, I think the family moved down there. So there's a couple buildings in Richland Center that are Frank Lloyd Wright designed, but then you get down to Taliesin down in Spring Green. Absolutely beautiful. Anyway, when I look at these rock outcroppings, and then I look at some of his designs, and you know, I actually see the rock outcroppings of nature, you know, working into these Frank Lloyd Wright designs because of all the way that the rocks are have these lines, these flat lines, and you know, he was really known for doing that, you know, and everything. All right, everybody, thanks for showing up. I really appreciate it. If you could like, subscribe, and share, that would help us bring you more of these videos, and then also, you know, help you with some of the other things that we're doing. So thank